back to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. I really appreciate you guys for subscribing to my channel, for liking my videos. I really do. If you are new to my channel, you are highly and very welcome. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe and then hit on that little bell just beside to get an update whenever I upload a new video. I would really appreciate if you would do that because it actually costs nothing. So I've been getting this request a lot from most of my subscribers. I'm going to be showing you how to cut a palazzo trouser today. So it's also called a wide leg pants. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So I already have my fabric laid out here. I have 3 yards of fabric. So that is what I'm going to be using. I folded my fabric into 16 inches. That's on fold. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start imputing the measurements. I'm going to use a 2-inch band for this palazzo trouser. So this is my 2-inch. So I'm taking it upwards, and then I'll measure the full length of my pants trouser. That's the palazzo trouser. So it's 43 inches, and then I'll add 1 inch. So I'm just going to start inserting now. So from this point, I'll measure out my hip line measurement. So I'm making use of 8 inches for my hip line. So my tape is up already. So this is 8 inches for my hip line measurement. So you could use 9. I want it fitted. So the next line I'm going to measure now is my crouch measurement. I'm making use of 11 inches for the crouch measurement. That's the crouch line. That's 11 inches. And then the knee, I'll make use of 22 inches for the knee. So I have my lines laid out. So the next thing now, I'm just going to come to this point where I folded on the top point. I'll measure 1 inch. I'm just taking 1 inch here inwards, and then I'll come to my knee and line point. I'll use 1.5. So I'm just going to connect the line like this, and you can see what I'm having here. So I have a curve here for the hip, and then from this point I'm going to come into this point like this. I'm measuring 2 inches. So you could use 2.5. So it depends on what you want. Since it is a palazzo, it's like a little bit straight. So I use 2 inches. So I'm going to measure out the waistline measurement now. And my waist measurement is 34 inches. So you divide the measurement into 4. So from this point, I'm just going to, and then I'll add 1 inch as my allowance. So I'll come to my hip line. I'll put my hip measurement. You divide your hip measurement also into 4, which is 10, because my hip is 40. And then I'll add 1.5 to 2 inches allowance. I want it fitted. So this is it. And then this is this. And then for the crouch line, I'm going to put my thigh measurement. But since this is a palazzo, so it has to be free. It's not going to be tight. Okay, so for my crouch line, I'm going to make use of 15 inches. So this is my 15 inches. Then I'll add 1 or half an inch allowance to it. So from this point, from these 3 lines, I'm just going to connect them like this. So I'm going to come to the down part of my trouser. For the down, I'm going to use 28 inches. That's the width that I want. So 28 inches, when you divide it into 2, you have 14 inches. So this is my 14 inches. And then I'll add 1 inch or half inch allowance to it. And then I'm going to come to my knee line. I'm going to reduce the measurement because I want it to be like a sort of like a boot cut palazzo. So I'm just going to reduce it like this. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to bring this line like this. I'm taking it to meet my crouch line. So it is really simple and easy. So I'm going to cut it out now, and then I'll use this front piece to cut out the back. So I have the front piece now, so I'm going to use this to cut out the back. Okay, so I've placed the front on the back piece. So I have 2 inches from the top here. So I'm just going to trim this edge. So you just watch closely. So I'm trying to get out the same shape. So when I get to this point, I'm just going to stop it like this, and then I'll move it inwards. So I'll come to this point like this, and then I'll measure 2.5 to 3 inches, and then I'll move it. So I'm going to measure it this way, and then I'll move it to place on this point. So I'm just moving it like this, and then from this point I'm going to cut. So I'll come to my crouch and line and point, and then I'll use 2 inches plus ½ inch. So I'm just going to curve it like this. So I'll come to this point also and still maintain the 2 inch. And then from this and top point, I measured and 2 inches for the back, because the back has to be, it has to be higher. So before then, I'll remove 1 inch from the front and part, just like for a slant. So I'm cutting off, and then I'll slant this up to this. And then this side, I'm cutting it out the exact measurement. So I'm going to be adding pockets to it. So I'm just going to come to this point like this for the front. So I'll keep the back on the side. So I'm going to cut out and the pockets now. So I have my fabric folded. I have 2 fabric here, folded at 13 inches and then 10.5 inches. So it's folded at 10.5 and then the length is 13 inches. So I'm just going to come to the front of my trouser like this. I'm going to measure 6.5 inches or 7 inches. So it depends on how deep you want it to be. And then I'll come to this point and then measure 2 inches like this. So I'm just going to make a curve here. So I've cut out my pocket like this. So this is on this side, on this side I'm just going to make a curve, just like a pocket curve on it. So you open them up just to get out this shape. So I'll place it like this on it, and then I'll cut it out from this point. So I'm going to go and start stitching now. So go to the machine now. So I'm going to start stitching now. The first thing I'm going to do to make it easier for you, I'm going to stitch the front crouch before I fix the pocket. So I'll just hold it at ½ inch and then ¼ inch and then stitch. So I've fixed the crouch together. So this is the front crouch. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to connect the pocket. So in connecting the pocket, I'm just going to take the pocket like this. I'll place it on top, and then I'm going to stitch it and then turn it in. So I've stitched the pocket like this. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to top stitch it on this side. So you could decide to iron it, and then I'm going to push it in. So I'm going to go and iron it first before I come back and show you. I've connected both pockets. So after connecting it, so it should and ironing, it should look like this. So the next thing you're just going to do, you're going to take this front piece like this, you bring it to this point, and then you take it like this, you bring it to this point, and then you just flip it inwards like this, and then you bring it to this point. So it could really be confusing actually. So I'm going to use my pins to secure it. So this is what I have. So I'll secure it and then go and just going to secure it like this, and then I'll secure the down part also. I'm just going to make a stitch on top here to make it easier because it's slippery, so just to secure it down. And then I'll open it up and then I'll stitch the down point. So I'm going to stitch this point like this. So I'm going to go and iron it up, so to make it relax more. So I'll just go and iron it to secure it properly. Okay, so guys, so you could see it on the palazzo. So after ironing, so it should look like this. So this is the back piece. So I've joined the crouch also just the way I joined the front one. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm just going to take it like this, and then I'll join it from down. I'm going to join the crouch. I'll start and joining from the crouch point like this. So I'll take the front crouch and then the back crouch together like this, and then I'll start from this point. I'll stitch it to this down and then stitch the other side and then join the side. And then I cut out my band of 2 inches. That's on fold is 2 inches, which is actually 4 inches. So I'll connect the band to it. So you could decide to put an elastic on it if you want to. Then you don't need a band, or you could still put a band and put elastic, or you could decide to fix a zipper on the side or on the back. So mine, I'm going to be fixing a zipper on it. So I'll choose whichever part I want to fix my zipper, either on the back or the side. So at the end of the day, I'll just come back and show you the completed palazzo. Well, so this is it. So you see the pocket. So my mannequin does not have hand. I would have put the hands inside the pocket. So see the pocket, and then everything came out so perfectly well. So guys, so I've now come to the end of this video. If you find it helpful, do not hesitate to like this video, share it, and then comment if you have not done so already, so you see it came out perfect.